Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of 31 and 31. And it's daytime, and I'm watching movies. So, but I just watched The House. I'm still processing a little bit. The House is available on Netflix, and originally it was scheduled to be an actual series, and then they just kind of turned it into 3 little vignettes. So it's basically an anthology movie, and while it does have some horror aspects to it, especially to the first one, and even to an extent the second one, the third one definitely is not horror at all. I'm not necessarily bamboozled like I have been in some years when you go and you look, oh, horror. But part of me is like feeling like that because I'm like, it's not exactly horror. But the good thing is that the third one is the best one out of all 3. If I have to rank the 3, it's the third one, the first one, and then the second one. The first one's a little predictable in the way that the story goes. I kind of knew that it was going in that direction, but it's like perfectly creepy, and especially for a stop motion animated movie, this is fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful to look at. It's one of the things that I absolutely loved about this movie, and it's what I love about watching animation in general. I just love to see what people do. And I think the medium is so cool because the imagination goes. But stop motion, it takes like way more to get this like imaginative side and to make things look beautiful. And Mia Goth does a voice for the first one. Oh yeah, baby. Even though she's playing a kid. So what do we have? We have 3 different stories going on. The first one involves a family that they have some, relatives visit them, some really rich relatives visit them and totally critique the shit out of where they live. And like, even when they show up, they look like, oh, another girl, because they just had a baby. And then they're totally like looking at it. So the husband gets drunk, goes out, and he runs into some random eccentric architect, and they're going to build him a house, but they have to live in this other house while they tear down and build up the house that's out there. And then things just kind of go wacky. Like I said, it has a lot on the horror spectrum. It's definitely interesting, and it's definitely if you're gonna watch one and you want to be like, oh, I want to stay with the horror, like stick through the first one. The second one changes from people to mice. So we get two of them that have God, I can't fucking say it. They have animal people. So the second one's about this mouse that's renovating a house, and then there's a bed bug infestation, or fur beetle infestation, and then it's like he's slowly going crazy as the whole little vignette goes along. And I really enjoyed the parts of it where he was kind of going out of his mind, just like Luna is in the background. It was a lot of fun. I really just enjoyed that one. But it was definitely my least favorite of them. And maybe because like there was like a little bit of a twist towards the end of it, and I just don't know why it went down that route. So like he tries to put the house in the market, and then some random people show up saying they're interested in it, and that's where things get even weirder. But there's definitely like, a juxtaposition of the bugs that have infested his house and these people that come in. Like I said, I think it's the weakest out of the 3, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. I mean, it's just in terms of what I like. Now, the last one, which is part 3, involves a cat lady named Rosa, and she has 2 tenants, and she's trying to repair her house, but the tenants don't pay any rent, so she can't really fix everything. And there was a flood, and one of the tenants, their boyfriend comes, or partner, or whatever she calls him in the thing, and then that kind of like upsets the balance of what she's been trying to do with the house. And it's more about like the like self-discovery and stuff like that. No real horror to speak of in that one, but I think the story is really beautiful. And again, I think maybe it's also because it's cat people, but it's still just, it's a lot of fun. This is definitely worth a watch. So if you've got Netflix, go watch it. I think, you know, I would give it a solid 3.5. I don't like giving halves, but I can't give it a 4, and I don't want to give it a 3. So you get 3.5 Beetle people. It's just, like I said, it's great, and it's really, for me, it's only the second one that brings it down. I think the first one's really good. I think the third story is most excellent. But if you're looking for something that's specifically horror, it's not gonna wet your whistle. Maybe the first one will, because the first one actually is really perfectly creepy, and so that one's definitely worth your time if you're into the horror stuff. But overall, it's missing something there, and for it to be included in lists of horror, I just don't think that it should. So, all right, we'll be back tomorrow with number 3, and let's see what we're watching then.